Hey guys, it's Power Coach Alishia here, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational coaching, speaking, and direct sales training with the twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand holding, no bullshit love. I actually specialize in helping women step into their personal power, unleash their inner badass, and live the life they love, unapologetically authentic. Today I want to talk to you about something that is pretty heavy and, very deep, as well as really important to your life and the quality of your life moving forward. I know I look crazy. I am in work, coaching, changing life mode, and I just don't care that I'm not all put together for you guys. I think it's more important that I share this message with you than anything. So, I know that Marcy's going to start watch parties for me. Marcy, can you start first and foremost in the Step Into Your Personal Power group and then start it wherever else that you want to from there? That would be great. And then I need to share this over to my personal profile. So let me pull up my computer really quick. As you guys are getting on here live, make sure you say hi to me in the comments. That would be great. And then we are going to get this show on the road. The one thing that I want to talk to you about today, it has to stop today. The main topic for today, if you don't change this, you will end up dead for a number of reasons. Hi, Tessa. So as you're coming on, make sure you say hi to me. I'm going to get this shared over and, no, I'm not. I'm not going to get it shared over because I don't know how to get it shared over. All right. I'll have to just share it later. Ooh, I could start a watch party on my profile though, right? There we go. This ends today. Public. Start. Oh, I gotta put it over here. All right. Good. That won't be in your guys' way and annoying you. All right. So I want to kind of start previous and then we'll come current. I have, obviously, this is the new Unapologetically You Facebook page, and it's the newest division to Alishia Willerton Empire. I have my Rockstar Direct Sales division. I have Unapologetically You, and then we're launching a new division in March of 2020. And I know in my soul, everything, that I am born to be a life coach and a transformational speaker. I know that that's my purpose on this earth and that that's what I was created for. However, I've spent a lot of my time and the last 15 years, has it been that long? 13 years of my life chasing dollars. That has been my focus. It's been where I've put my time and my efforts to provide a living for my household and, take care of my family. I did that and it was good. It was worth it. It was great. It was what was, needed to be done. And today I still will provide a living for my family, except without the fear that if I do what I was born to do, I won't be able to provide a living for my family in that way, right? So I know that I can follow my life's purpose, my passion, and what I was born for, being a life coach, a speaker, and having these different divisions to my company, and it will all work out exactly the way I want it. I always say that the universe doesn't make any mistakes, and that's because the universe does not make any mistakes. And I can tell you that the last probably about month, it's been really hard for me to stay the course, right? To have the faith, to take the action. And every day that I stay the course, have the faith, take the action, I am shown that now more than ever is the right time for me. So by a really crazy chain of events, and unbeknownst to the people involved, I ended up on the phone today with somebody who I believe, my gut says, everything in my fiber of my being says that person would have been dead in the next 24 to 48 hours. I truly believe that. One day, I believe you will hear her story at one of my events. And I also believe that one day she'll be a life coach on my team. From suicide to a life coach for unapologetically you seems nuts. But everything in my body, everything tells me that you'll hear her story and you'll know, and she will be one of the walking miracles, right? That's my hope anyways. That's what my gut says. That's what my intuition says. So we're on a call today, and we spent about 90 minutes on the phone. And I would say right around the first 45 minutes was lots of story and gruesome detail about the life that she has lived. And there's been a lot of shitty shit. And not like, oh, she's a victim baby. No, some crazy shit. Shitty shit. Hey, as you guys are getting on, make sure you say hi to me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I didn't even check. Okay. Yeah. I mean, just a lot of shit, you know? And for a lot of people listening to her story and her detailing all the horribleness of it all, that would send you into emotion, right? Send you into panic, send you into fear. What do you say to the person who says, I was actually just thinking today that the beam downstairs is looking pretty good? What do you say to that person, right? And most people wouldn't have any clue what to say. You know, they'd be calling 911 and, you know, is there somebody home with you? You know, all of these things that would keep them alive in that way, right? Just doing what you know how to do. And for whatever reason, and I still don't even really understand it, but I always know exactly what to say. And I don't say that with like a puffy chest, I'm so good, I'm so much better than everybody. I don't feel that way. I just always know what to say. And so I knew at that moment why she was on the phone with me. And she got on the phone with me because one of my team members felt like she needed to be life coached. But my team member did not know that she was on the brink of suicide. It's just interesting, right? My team member could have said, well, you know, maybe book a life coaching session with Alishia, and then this chick would have been dead. But she pushed it. She made sure it was set up. The process went through, and within, you know, less than 24 hours of her being on the phone with my team member, she's on the phone with me. It's just really cool how the universe doesn't make any mistakes. So, like I said, the first 45 minutes of this conversation is her detailing her gruesome life from childhood to current. And it was horrible, and it sucked, and she's been through some shit, you know? As I'm listening to her talk, this is where you guys come in. As I'm listening to her talk, you know, she's recalling every detail, every gruesome detail. And extreme emotion is attached to this detail. Hi everybody that's coming on here. I'm so excited to see some of you, like Mateo, I haven't seen forever, Sharitha, Candy. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. It's in such great detail and full of so much emotion, which is all good because that's what this part of this conversation's for. So I've started this new thing that I say to people, which is you have to stop writing that story. And I say to her that this book that you have written is so thick. It's so big. It's so detailed. It has so much information in it. One, nobody's ever going to read it. And I know you don't want them to. They're never going to read it, right? And you know it like the back of your hand. You have told the stories and added to the stories so much that it's time to stop writing this book. It's time to stop telling this story. Now, I have no certification in, you know, psychology or psychiatry or any of the things. I don't have any of that. I only have my experience of life and what I feel my angels give to me at the moments that it's needed. Plus all the self-help books and audio books and, you know, like life type stuff that I've trained on. That's what I have, you know, in my arsenal. So I tell her she has to stop writing this story and that it's time, you know, to write a new story after she's able to get through it all, right? So like I said, it was about 45 minutes of everything. And the positive part to the story is at that halfway point where we shifted from her telling her old story, her writing the old book, to me saying, okay, We know all the facts. We know what's true. It's time to write your new book. And we started it. We started what it looks like, how it feels, whose life it changes, how it impacts her, all of the things. And I felt so compelled to come live and talk to you. Because I know that someone who watches this video now in the next 24 hours, this is what you need to hear. The story of the shit, the story of what you've been through, the story of the detriment, the story of the sadness, the story of the pain that lives within you can either make you a victim or keep you a victim. Okay? So it can make you a victim or keep you a victim. Or you can use the story, the book that you've written, as power to change other people's lives. You can't do both though. Okay? It can't be your power while it's the reason why you're stuck. It can't be your power while you're still telling that story from a perspective of the detriment and the pain, right? I find so much that a lot of people I work with in life and in business coaching that you're so stuck in telling the story. Everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know the details. Not everybody, but whoever you're talking to, right? They need to know the details. They need to understand what you've been through and where you've come from in order to really, truly understand you. And the truth is if you still tell that story as if it is your life today, you're never going to get where you want to be. And the truth is, it kills you living. And that's also what I said to her. I said, I know that you are really at the end of your rope, at the end of your life, at the end of wanting to live, and you're done. I get that. I said, you know what's worse though? You're actually living dead. You've already died. Life is already ended for you. You already don't exist. You can't be for your kids what you truly want to be. You can't be for yourself what you want to be. You can't be for your partner what you want to be. You have no quality of life, isolating yourself, shutting yourself away, beating yourself up. So what's worse than ending it all now is the fact that you're still alive, yet dead. And that has to change today. And that's the same for some of you, maybe even all of you who listen to this. There has to come a point where the story that you tell has an ending. And then you rewrite a new story. You create a new book. And that is your new Bible. That is your new guidebook. That is your new blueprint for your life. And that was one thing I said to her. I said, you want to know what also really sucks? And the reason why you feel this way? She said, yes. And I said, your whole map, your whole guide, your whole everything that you live your life by is that book. It is that story or those stories. So that is your Bible. It's not full of hope and, good passages and things that are going to propel you forward. It's full of defeat and failure and all of the negatives known to man. That's what you're living by. So the reason why you can't get out of this, the reason why you can't shift, the reason why you can't grow and change and get to where you want to be is because what you live by doesn't contain any of that. That book does not contain any of those things. So I'm on this live to say to you, what's your story? What's your book about? What are the things that you are continually saying over and over and writing and adding to that you live by, while also in the same breath saying, this isn't changing. I don't know what's going on. I can't understand why this. How come this is happening to me? I used to be this. I used to be that. I used to feel this way. I used to feel that way. I used to be able to do this. You can't get to there with that being your guide. What got you here, they say, won't get you there, right? So what ends today for you? Why is this video titled It Ends Today? What ends today is you telling the same story over and over and over again. You adding to the stories. You writing a new shitty fucking chapter that is not aiding you. I am not saying that the information in your book and in your chapters are not fact. I know they're fact, and I accept that they're fact. There's a difference, though, between things being fact and things being emotion, right? So you have a fact, and the only way that fact can drag you down and make you a victim and derail your life is when you attach emotion to that fact. Yes, easier said than done. If you've been abused, if you've been raped, if you have had somebody die in your arms, or you feel like you are the cause of somebody's death, all of these things, it's instant emotional attachment. You don't get the choice whether or not to attach emotion to those things when those things happen. It just happens, right? So now that you know that it was an involuntary emotional attachment to those situations, depending on how much time has passed, it's time to remove the emotion and make it a fact. It is what it is. Not in a dismissive way, in a literal way. It is what it is. It did happen. It did affect me. It did cause these issues. It did derail. It did fill in the blank. Yes? Now what? Once you know all of that, now what? That's why people come to me, because they don't know what to do next. That's why people hire me, because they have no idea of what the now what. Like, what the fuck do I do? I know I'm done. I know I'm ready to move on. I know I'm ready to let go, but I have no idea what to do. See, this is how I know that she has fire. This is how I know that she has fight for life. This is how I know that this is the first day of the rest of her life. Because she doesn't know me, you guys. This person that I was on the phone with is not even in my internet data, my email database. I searched for her to see what she signed up for, what she's a part of, if she's bought anything, any free stuff that she's done, so I could see the action she took for herself in my world. She wasn't even in my system. That's even more weird. So this is why I believe that she's fire, she's power, she's all the things amazing. Because not knowing really who the fuck I am, and not knowing whether or not I would judge her, support her, or help her, not knowing what that conversation was gonna lead her to, she still booked a session with me. And at the very beginning of the session, I said to her, I feel that you're being honest with me. However, you're not soul deep right now. You're just deep enough. And I need you to go soul deep if I'm going to change your life. And then she went soul deep. At that point in the conversation, I had no idea that she had felt that she's done with life. I had no idea what she's gone through in her past. I didn't know any of that. I just knew that she wasn't soul deep. And I knew I would not be able to deliver the transformation that she needed without that happening. So when you get off this live, you're going to go soul deep with yourself. And you're going to, again, you can restate all of your facts. You can restate everything that's happened to you, everything that you've been through, all of the shit, right? And then you have a choice to make. Are you going to keep adding to the book that doesn't serve you? Or are you going to write a new book? And if you're going to write a new book, then that starts right now. That starts today. What is it that needs to happen for you to start the process of writing the new book? What action needs to happen right fucking now? Not tomorrow, not in 20 minutes, not in 3 hours. What needs to happen right now for that new book to get started? For her, it was cleaning the space around her that I knew was a mess, even though I don't know her. For her, it was cleaning up her kitchen and planning dinner that she hasn't made in a year. For her, it's getting on track to meet me on tour, which is one of the scariest things ever. If you listen to the call at the part where I tell her, the only thing I want in return for helping her is to tell her story at my event. I found out where she lived. I'm not going to tell you guys that, because if she pops up and starts hanging around, it would be pretty easy to figure out who she is. I I said, I want you to tell your story at my event and change people's lives. She can't even go outside without having panic attacks and fearing for her life and her kid's life. And I want her to tell her story on my tour, and I know she will. And I'm so fucking excited. It is going to be one of the coolest experiences of everyone's life. That could be you. You could be the person who is shifting from this has defined me and now I am a victim to my life to this has created me and now I'm a survivor and delivering that as power to change everybody else's life. That's all up to you. So just because I tell this story from the perspective of the phone call I had today doesn't mean that you don't identify. It doesn't mean that this isn't meant for you. This doesn't mean that you just click off this video and it doesn't matter. We have to stop ignoring the things that are right in front of us. We have to stop ignoring. You have to. I tend to tell myself a lot of truth. So I'm going to say you have to stop ignoring the things that are right in front of you. You have to stop ignoring yourself when you walk past the mirror. You have to stop ignoring your feelings and the shit that you've just shoved so deep because you don't want to fucking face it and you don't want to deal with it and that's not a part of you and you've moved on. The fuck you have. Then why don't you look at yourself in the mirror? Then why won't you journal to the depths of your soul that's what's on your mind and on your heart? Why don't you release the shit that has held you back? No, you haven't. You just pushed it down. Have to stop. It's my mission. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to travel and speak in it and pull this shit out of you people. Don't come to my tour stop if you don't want to change. Don't show up to my lives if you don't want to change. Don't come to my events if you don't want to change. Because I'm going to make you change. I have a crazy way of pulling it out of you. So with all of this being said, I want you to have a soul conversation with yourself and decide, is this the first day of the rest of your life or is this the end for you? That's what I have to say to you today. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.